A warm welcome to today's webinar. It's great to have you all here. Today we are going to talk about after outreach is before outreach, follow-up of the campaign. This is part 4 of our webinar series, Rest in Peace Press Release, Distributing Content Online. In the other 3 parts, we already talked about content marketing in general, how to create a content marketing campaign, and the targeted and active distribution of the content. You can watch all our webinar parts on our website. Just go there on the webinar category. My name is Ann-Kathrin Krotke, and I am marketing manager at Eology and responsible for our webinars, among other things. As with the first 3 parts, my colleague Linda Hartung will hold the webinar today. She's outreach expert at Eology and very familiar with the topic of content marketing. Linda, good to have you here. I'm going to turn the microphone over to you so we can get started right away with today's topic.
Thank you, Anka. Yes, I also introduced myself. My name is Linda. Maybe you know me from the other 3 parts of our webinar. And I'm working for Eology for almost 4 years now, and I'm part of the content outreach team. We provide high-class links. And of course, we help you to achieve more traffic. And we take you over through the whole complete outreach process. But other services we offer are also search engine optimization, paid advertising, content creation. Yeah, so that's all what you can work with us here in our online marketing agency. So what we're talking about today in our 4th part is, first of all, the controlling and the performance measurement of your content outreach campaign, then how you can recycle the content, then about the remarketing, what is evergreen content and what can you do with your evergreen content, and of course, we talk about learnings for the next campaign. But first of all, I would like to talk about the last 3 parts before. We also had some learnings there, so just let me summarize it for you again. The learnings of part 1 were the classic press release usually does offer too little added value, and this does not attract any attention. The alternatives are, for example, native advertising or content marketing, what we're talking about right now. Content marketing is perfect for creating an added value for your users. And content marketing is the design and the creation of relevant content that adds informative, advisory, or entertaining value to your target group, to your target audience. Number 2 of part 1, learnings number 2 are you make a distinction between strategic and operational content marketing. You can use creativity techniques to find topics and to develop your innovative ideas. You use your evaluation to determine the best idea. And the next steps is now to design and implement the campaign. Where we come to part 2. There are different variants of a content marketing product, like an ebook or infographics, whatever you like. The decision about which medium is the right one for you must be made individually, maybe based on your target group, on your resources, whatever you have. You should definitely include experts to increase the quality of your content, and the content should be precisely defined in advance. And some other learnings of part 2, a realistic working schedule is indispensable. Uniform and appealing layout of the landing page of your content marketing product is very important. The landing page should definitely be ad-free, and you need a quality control in the end. Let's go to part 3. Where we did the outreach process, how you can distribute your content online, and the quality criteria for your linking pages are mandatory. The research can be done via Google search, Google Alerts, competitor analysis, or any other research tool. You can do joint brainstorming with your colleagues to get new ideas and new starting points. And your research results should be collected in one central list you have. So you have one document to work with. And a project manager reviews the search results before they're contacted. A pre-outreach can be used in advance to generate interest and get initial feedback to your campaign. Telephone contact is always preferred over contact via email, and a functioning link management helps you to keep track of your campaign. So now let's get starting today with controlling and performance measurements. Yeah, here we have some aspects and possibilities which you can use for controlling and measure your performance. And of course, you can also use your own key figures or add some or like leave some out, but these are the ones we use. Well, first of all, we look at the number of backlinks to the campaign website. How many backlinks did we get? How many do follow? How many no follow? Just a number in total. We look at the SI, the Systrix visibility index, and the development of your campaign URL, your campaign website, or like you can use whatever tool you would like to use or what you're familiar with. Just use one tool for everything. And then we take a look at Google Analytics. Then maybe we got a featured snippet in the Google SERPs for our content, and we look if we got any keyword rankings, if our content ranks on certain positions in the Google SERPs. Then, okay, let's start with analytics. It's a free tool of Google marketing platform, and it allows you to get analysis of your website, of your online marketing measures. And yeah, you can measure campaign success and get information about the user behavior as well. So you can get target definition, data collection, analysis, and also the performance measurement. There are many key figures insights you can get out of analytics. So for example, it's the number of users, number of sessions, the time data, the browser, what was used, also geographical information and all what's written on there. And what's important to know is that Google Analytics does not collect personal data. Many people often understand this. So on the contrary, it's explicitly stated that in the terms and conditions that these may not be linked to Google Analytics. So it's important to emphasize in terms of DSGWO. So with the data, we have the restricts, and that never only a targeted user, but aggregated values and trends are analyzed. Also, tracking is often blocked by different softwares. So the analysis you give clear directions, but you do not have to be 100% accurate. So there's always some data missing, some data may be a little wrong, whatever. So it's not 100% accurate. And the tool works with cookies for data collection, which are enabled by the Google Analytics tracking code, which is embedded in your website, and first-party cookies, and then stored with your visitors and periodically send information exclusively to Google Analytics. So that's kind of how it works. So that's how it looks like. And the main goal of using Google Analytics is to collect your solid data that then can be used as a basis for your future actions. So you can define target groups, get other information to use as a basis for it. Then you can also define goals, what you want to reach, and you make a distinction between the micro goals and the macro goals. Macro goals, for example, is when somebody downloads your content marketing product, like maybe downloads your free ebook. And micro goals are, for example, share buttons. Social media is used to distribute your content. Maybe when you have a star rating, it is used and how often it was used. And defined goals are very important to have a basis to measure your goals. So for example, a special download rate, how many people did download your ebook? Did you reach it, or did I not reach it? It is below the number I expected it to be. So compare how well you you achieved your goals. And also you can make an accurate analysis of your users to get information of them, like demographics, user behavior, or whatever. So you can use it for your next content marketing campaign to maybe do better, maybe change a little bit, or maybe it was exactly like you wanted it to be. So you can just go on like you did here. Then we also take a look at the keyword rankings in the Systrix tool. They have a good overview of all the keywords, and you can filter the data sources for like which device you would like to have, like mobile or desktop. You can also filter for positions in the search engine result pages. Like, for example, only you would like to have a look only on positions 1 to 10, or maybe you would like to have a look at one special keyword, or maybe how many words or the rankings it has. Yeah, in different kind of topics and different kind of sentences and words and search terms. That's all you can look at with Systrix. But of course, there's also other tools you can use where you can find things like that. This is how it looks like. Here's the example with the Spice Guide, which we published in French. We sorted the keyword rankings by position, and we can look at how many keywords are in the top 10, which can look here. There's 18 top 10 keywords. There are 148 top 100 keywords. You have here guide the piece on position 1. And just look at what's the average position. And you can look at also changes in positions and of course the total number of keywords. And in the end, you can also derive your next steps. Do you need maybe to push one keyword a little more? Is one keyword ranking pretty good? So you don't maybe just push it anymore to have a good basis. So maybe you push it through building one more backlink for this keyword. So you just get better results. Or maybe push the one on the position 1 to position 1, whatever you would like. That's something you can maybe get on draw on from these results. Then, as I told you before, we look at the total number of backlinks. In our outreach process, we tried to gain a lot of backlinks and a lot of the most possible backlinks. It's not it's also of course how many backlinks there were built, but also what kind of backlinks were built. Like, is it mainly weak or strong pages? Maybe only the blogs and guides that are perfectly to the topic, or maybe also a big news website, a big content or topic relevant page, whatever. Also, we compare it with our goals we set before, with our target goals. So if you can see if we reach what we wanted. So for example, if we build 15 links in total, we just have the 15 links. It doesn't say if it's like a good result or a bad result. So, but if you wanted to build 5 links and you set a goal of 5 links and you built 15, so that sounds pretty good and you did a lot of things right and your campaign was pretty much successful in this respect. But if your goal was 20 backlinks and you only reached like 15 backlinks, you have you didn't reach your goal, and you have to evaluate where the problems were, what you could have done differently, what you can do better the next time, so the next time you can reach your goal. And also we look at the success rate, how many % of the approach pages have linked to your website. So another example, did you contact 100 websites and got 15 backlinks, or did you contact 500 websites and got 15 backlinks? So when you got the 100 and 15 out of 100, it's much better than 15 out of 500. So look at your procedure. Did it work well? Was it the right way to do it? Did you get a lot of positive answers, a lot of backlinks in comparison to the total number of websites? Or maybe do you have to improve some steps? Do you have to improve your contact procedure so you can maybe get a better success rate the next time? Also, as I said before, we use the Systrix tool, especially the SI, the Systrix, the Sichtbarkeit, it's the German word, the visibility index, and the development with this index. It always, of course, has a fluctuation, which is just normal, like you can see here. But after all, it should be definitely a positive trend in that. You can have a look at the time your campaign started, what happened afterwards, did it increase, did it decrease? Can you see an impact after the first backlink went online? And also look at the end of the campaign, what happened then? When you stop the campaign, when you stop building backlinks, did it increase more and more? Did it maybe decrease? Did it drop? And at the end, like at the ending point of your campaign, your landing page should definitely have an SI, visibility index number. So yeah, that's actually what you want to have. You can get an impact to your whole website, and that's a goal you should definitely set yourself. Also, we check if we got a featured snippet, if our content maybe got a featured snippet in the Google search results. It's a format that gives users a direct answer to their questions right in the search result pages without having them to use your website or click on one search results. And yeah, you can see an example here. It's a little text, maybe some bold words, and it usually answers your question right there. What is nice to know, the text of your of the snippet of the one which appears in the search engine, it's automatically created by Google and from the page which is linked inside a snippet, and it takes the top organic results and thereby displaces an organic results. And there's the deduplication. That means the URL that in the featured snippet is inside, it is not displayed a second time on the first result page. Another fact, what's also good to know is that voice search gets most of its answers from featured snippets of Google. And as it gains more and more importance, it is good to have your answer there, of course. Not any competitor, not somebody else, but your answer should be there. So Google says you have great content and amazing content, which it is worth to be there as a featured snippet, and which is worth to be in the voice search. And there are also different forms of featured snippets. There are, for example, text snippets with or without images. There are video featured snippets. These are the only ones excluded from the deduplication, because in most cases it's videos hosted on YouTube. And yeah, you also have list and table snippets. For example, when you have maybe a recipe or something, mostly when you format it like a list, you can, or like a recipe, the recipe will be shown directly in Google without clicking somewhere to one or going to another website. Also, yeah, you can't really say, I want a featured snippet to your website. Google independently decides for which search queries a featured snippet is displayed at all. And it also it decides independently which domain and search result is used for it. So you just need to have an overall amazing content. So Google decides to use your content for a featured snippet. And also what's good to know is they mostly appear for informational search queries, not for transactional queries. And also your answer of your question should be given correct, of course, comprehensive, and in like 1 to 2 sentences or short list, which is called a no simple principle. And also your text structure is important. So look at your headlines. Are they formatted correctly? Are they meaningful? Is the HTML structure correct? All of that are important points to get a chance to be a featured snippet in Google. And yeah, this all increases your chances to get a featured snippet. But after all, you can never say what Google does in the end. So yeah, just do your best, get your amazing content, and yeah, just check recently or regularly if you got a featured snippet. Then the next possibility we'd use for controlling and the performance measurement is we compare the content marketing campaign to the classic link marketing. So we look at the budget, we look how many backlinks were there built in how many hours. We compare it to the cost of the classic link marketing. So you can see directly if you could have gotten better results with the classical link building, or if the content marketing campaign achieved better results. So we have an example here. This one was an ebook campaign. We distributed an ebook online and had a budget for about 11,000 euros. It's only for the work time, for the outreach time, the creation of the ebook, and like the online, the design, whatever, it's not included here in the budget. It was separate. So we set our goal. So we said we wanted to plan 15 backlinks in total. Then we distributed it online very successfully. We built 19 links in total, so for more than actually planned. And when we compare it with the total link value of all these links built, we were after all about 9,000 above the plan. So the deploy budget was almost doubled. And in comparison with the classic link marketing, in this case, if you would book 19 of your weakest links here with Eology, you would have to use a minimum budget of 1,300 euros. And additionally, you would also have to pay the cost for the project management and all that. So after all, in the classic link marketing, you would have to pay about 2,000 euros more than you did for the content marketing. And of course, the total link value is much higher. And in this case, the decision was made correctly to use the budget for the content marketing instead of the classic link marketing. Another example, maybe a more successful example, I'd say, it was a Dutch ebook we distributed in the Netherlands. The budget for the content outreach process was a little higher, so we respectively had a bigger amount of planned links, in total 21. Also here we were able to collect more links than planned. In total it was 31 links. And this total link value was about 30,000 euro when we added up together. So in the result, we were about 15,000 euros above plan. And the budget was also almost doubled. And again, in comparison to the classic link marketing, the 31 links would cost at least 21,000 euros. So about 5,000 more than actually used. And you still here need to add the cost for the project management. Also, you have to consider we calculate with the weakest link price, but we did not only build weak links, we also built strong links from high quality websites, which would be more important if you actually calculate it with the price itself. So in total, also a very successful campaign. Now let's get to part 2 on the agenda, the content recycling. So why should you do content recycling? Of course, the effort is not as high when you recycle content as it would be if you create a whole new content. So other arguments, for example, there are always new users coming on your website who don't scroll through all the old articles, all the old postings. They are happy to see some new articles towards your topic. For things to solidify, people need to read and or maybe to hear things more often. So if you post some articles about like the same topic in a different way, maybe publish a video, maybe an infographics, whatever, it's better for people to get it solidified. And most of your followers don't follow you on all platforms. So some just read the blog, some only follow you on social media, some only get the newsletter of you. But only a few follow you everywhere. So you can post your content or recycle your content also on many different platforms. And there are different preferences when consuming the content. One person maybe likes to read, the other one likes to read only small parts, maybe just a comprehensive blog post. Some want to watch a video, some are fans of infographics to see all data at one glance. So just think about which content and for which target group you want to publish. Maybe you want to talk to many target groups. So you maybe do an ebook for the older people, some videos on social media for the younger target groups, whatever we would like. And of course, social media in this case is perfect for short content bites, like short text, short videos. When the target group does not have much time, it's still possible then to reach them with your content in the small bites. And also you have a chance to reach new followers with your existing content that was just renewed. So you maybe gained followers with the old one, but when you renew it, the topic is still very up to date for other people who didn't know it yet, and you can win them as a new follower also. Then, of course, the advantages are clear. your content potential is used in total. It is always like production, publishing, distribution of the content, and then it's forgotten. So that's kind of the circle we want to get out. So if you use the content in different forms, if you recycle it, you can save time and costs, even resources, and you get more positive impacts as your reach becomes greater, for example, by using different platforms. Also, another idea for content recycling, you can use the idea from your content marketing creativity workshop you did before. The ideas were pretty good maybe, but not good enough to be in an ebook, maybe to be in a whole infographic. This is where you can use them now for a blog post, which is not as comprehensive and not as big as an ebook. It's shorter, it's like just a short-term topic, and maybe you can also use those topics which are not really good in text. You can use it for a social media post, maybe for an infographic, maybe for a video. Other mediums are also possible. You just can change or like search for the perfect platform for your topic, so you can reach the right target group and maybe get the best out of your content. And of course, you also strengthen your positioning by becoming more and more perceived as an expert on this certain topic when you publish about it regularly. So if you only publish one thing once, it's not really an expert status you can gain, but if you publish it on a regular basis, then it's more likely to be an expert, to be seen as an expert from your users, but also to be seen as an expert from Google itself. Yes, so what are your opportunities to recycle your content? Of course, we have some examples. You can use it for blog posts, as I said, for posts on social media, for your newsletter. Of course, the list is not complete. There are more opportunities like videos, short videos, maybe reels, the TikTok, whatever you would like. Then social media posts, sometimes here you can simply use short parts of your ebook, or in general parts of your content marketing product, whatever it is. Use, for example, an image, a checklist, or things like that to post them, each of them individually on social media. Or you can also edit your text and an image for example, an Instagram post. You can also use meaningful quotes or special headlines as a statement, maybe inserted in an image or just as a statement text post. And you also can take the unused topics out of your content marketing workshop again, which were, as I said before, not enough for a whole campaign, not enough for a whole blog post, and maybe now are perfect for social media. In case of the Spice Guide, for example, we talked about it a lot in the webinars before. You could just do like a spice series. So where you present one spice each day. For like one day you say, write, post, make a video about pepper, the other day about chili, whatever. Just present one spice a day and its characteristics. And you can have it like a ongoing series of spices of the world. Then, of course, inside the newsletter, you can promote your content marketing. Like, for example, tell them you published an amazing ebook on your website and link to it. Or you can maybe just create a thematic newsletter towards your topic. Maybe you can also take an ebook chapter as a whole topic for the newsletter, or maybe get an extract of the ebook inside your newsletter. And it's also possible, of course, to create an infographics or some images about your content and add them to the newsletter just for promotion. And of course, you can promote new blog posts, new content on your website inside your newsletter, so you can reach maybe somebody who only reads your newsletter. You can also get them on your website, get some more clicks, get some more visitors with it, and get just your content to everybody. And after all, you can also recycle your content for single blog posts. So use the unused ideas of your content marketing workshop. You can also add some content like quizzes, a checklist, in relation to the ebook, or maybe to another blog post that already exists. Another option is like picking out single chapters of your ebook, do some editing, maybe even add some more content like as I said, the checklist and publish them as a blog post. And of course, there are a lot of options to recycle your content and recycle the ideas you already have, which saves you in the end resources and a lot of work hours if you use something you already thought about. You just, you had a creativity workshop, you have the ideas, why don't you work with them? That's a pretty good thing to do. So let's now go over to remarketing. What is remarketing at all? The users of your own website are going to be addressed on another website. And those, through ads. And those ads are targeted based on the previous user behavior. So both in terms of the content of the ad and the ad target, for example, a specific offer to your to product or to your campaign. An example probably everybody knows is if you're looking at shoes online, but maybe you are not sure enough, or maybe you decide not to buy them and you keep surfing online, read some articles, some information, maybe go to another online shop, whatever, just the usual things. And then someone later, or maybe the next day, those shoes you looked at appear as an ad, which says like, hey, you wanted those shoes, why don't you buy them now? And this is exactly what you can use with your content marketing campaign also. So how is remarketing used in content marketing? The requirements, of course, is the implementation of the necessary tracking pixels. And then when you publish a similar content marketing campaign in the future, you can draw the user's attention to your new campaign. So if somebody was at the old campaign and now you have a new campaign, you can retarget them and get them also to your new campaign. Also, you can attract visitors of your actual content marketing campaign from the landing page to thematically relevant categories, products in the store, because they fit thematically. For example, when you have the spice guide, you can place an ad for spices where you can buy them if you have a spice shop behind it. So how do you use this? Here's an example on how you can create your ad, for example, Google Ads. And first of all, of course, you can define your target group. You want maybe only female, maybe male, maybe both. Which age group do you want? Like all the other demographic stuff you can decide. Then you can also address users who visited a specific landing page of your website, for example, the users who visited the spice guide specifically. And you can also define how long the user should be targeted, like 1 week, maybe longer, maybe shorter. And in total, you have a lot of options to create your remarketing ads so you can reach the perfect target group, so you can get the best results out of it. And of course, you can always improve the setups to get better results, or maybe to get the results you actually want to have. Then what's also a good thing is using the evergreen content. So what is it? What is it actually? What does it mean? The content that is evergreen represents or is like a diamond from out of SEO perspective. Such contents have a great chance to always rank in the first place of the Google search for certain keywords. So after all, you can prove your authority and your competence and regularly attract visitors to your website. You can get regular traffic on your website. Yeah, that's kind of the evergreen content and what's behind of it. But yeah, how do I know if my content is evergreen? That's actually pretty simple. You just ask yourself some questions, and if every one of them can be answered with yes, then you have the perfect evergreen content. So ask yourself, will the content still be up to date in 2 years or even in 3 years? Or maybe is it just a content that's up to date now and will be out of date the next year? Is the quality of the content above average? This should be actually obvious because that's a focus you already have when creating the content marketing and the whole campaign, but think about it as well here. Then ask yourself, is the content relevant to the target audience? Does the content deal with a specific topic? Are there sources indicated? Is your content serious and trustworthy? Do you have experts in them that can be a big push in your trustworthiness? And so when you can answer all of these questions with a yes, you can talk about an evergreen content. Suitable formats, for examples, could be like an encyclopedia article, a tutorial, it could be lists, guidebooks, and so on and so on. So that's all possible to make those as an evergreen content. So what are the advantages of such an evergreen content? It generates a long-term traffic and long-term visitors, of course. There's permanent traffic towards your website, which is a good signal also for Google. And of course, you can have like a fluctuation, which is just normal naturally, but actually you get constant traffic. Also, you can gain better keyword rankings, and your content is not ephemeral. So the time and resources are used better when they're used for evergreen content than when it's just used for trending topics which are out of date a year after. Also, what's important that is content maintenance. So you don't just create your content, upload it, and never look back on it again. So you have to check your content from time to time. Ask yourself, are all the experts of the topic really covered? Are the new developments that should definitely be integrated? Are data and figures still up to date and are still correct? So you do not have any false information in your content that would go to that you're no longer an expert of your topic. That would not be good. So check all these questions, maybe change a little bit. And it does not cost too much time. It is not really hard to do it. Set yourself a reminder regularly and check the content and edit maybe some aspects if necessary. So in the end, you still have a high quality content and can use it as an evergreen content still over many years. And you can also, set yourself the expert status and keep yourself the expert status. Of course, there's also the seasonal and event related content, which is a special case here. This is not really an evergreen content because they're like fading topics, but it's still very useful in the marketing. So seasonal content is recurring every year. For example, when you have a Christmas topic, you can start your campaign again around November, December, around the Christmas time. And of course, there will be always websites which publish new articles about the season, new Christmas articles, gift articles, whatever. And where you can, on the one hand, build some more backlinks. And of course, on the other hand, when the season starts, the traffic to your website, to your campaign, to your content will increase again because you have the Christmas topic as well. And the campaigns with certain events are a little different of the seasonal content. When the creation of the campaign or maybe of the product, the medium you would like to publish needs a lot of effort and resources, and the results won't be like you actually would like them to be with a content marketing campaign, you should maybe rethink if this topic is the best one to publish in this big case. Then maybe it's better to only publish a blog post, some posts on social media maybe, and that's it. So don't put resources in a big ebook that after the event nobody will read again. So, but if on the other hand, if you say the effort will be worth it, then of course you can create a campaign for it. You can, for example, choose an event that has a big interest within your target group and it fits perfectly to them and your brand, then it could be worth it and you could get traffic on your website for a short time. And then, you can publish the ebook, the infographic, whatever, to this special event and get good goals by yourself. So in total, let's get to another point. What you should definitely do after your content marketing campaign, after it has ended, it's determine the learnings for your next campaign. So which aspect should be considered? Ask yourself, was the schedule adhered to? How was the feedback from the potential link providers? What went well? What didn't went quite well? What problems have occurred? These are aspects you should ask yourself. So let's go to the first one, to the schedule. So in the best case, of course, the schedule should work out perfectly because it was planned pretty good. You included a buffer for unforeseen events. You just thought about every problem that could occur and you ended it, or you just finished it right on point. But if it did not work, look at those points where did you find delays, which areas took more time than planned. So maybe your external graphic agency turned in their work 2 weeks late, why there was more time needed. For example, when doing the outreach, did the answers came in late, were the answers delayed? And always get a feedback also from your team. Check what they think, what they could have what they think the problems could have been, what they think if it's was a time which worked pretty well, or what were the problems of the delay. And also check were there unforeseen delays. For example, somebody got sick, like the one expert for your ebook who you wanted to do an interview with, and when they're sick, they could not keep on working, you could not interview them, and then all the text and all the writing process got delayed. So just think about that. And of course, you have to think, was there an incorrect planning in advance? So, well, of course, that's not actually what we want to hear, that we made a mistake in planning, but self-evaluation is also pretty necessary. And of course, you have to admit if there was a planning mistake, acknowledge where were the problems and where were the weaknesses, so you can do better the next time, and you can be prepared for those problems the next time. Then, of course, get your feedback from potential link givers, from the link providers. What was the basic mood of the feedback? Was it positive? Was it negative? Or maybe even neutral? Why, maybe ask yourself why the inclusion of the link was rejected. Maybe they said they didn't want to have it. They don't want to have like content from somebody else than their own editorial office. And maybe if reasons accumulate, this is a good starting point for improvement, and something you should definitely work on. You should consider when doing the next campaign, and maybe even do something so that those rejection points are not even necessary to say, so that they're just determined. And also get feedback to the content. Was this content described as too superficial? So next time you should go deeper into the topic and get a more deep text and content. Also get feedback about the layout. Did you do well? Did they like what they saw? Maybe they said, okay, there are some improvements, whatever. And of course, were there any other suggestions for improvement? Like sometimes somebody says something, you haven't even think about it, and maybe you can change it right away. Maybe if it's just a small thing, you can just change it, or maybe just write it down for the next time so you can do it better, or maybe like the one little better next time. Also think about the good aspects of your project. For example, the communication within the team. Was it an easy communication? Were there a lot of questions, or was it just easy explained and everybody knew exactly what to do? Were your research results were they for the most part in line with your defined quality criteria, or did the project manager had to sort of a lot of websites because the researcher didn't just know exactly what the quality criteria was? Did you receive a lot of good feedback, or maybe a lot of feedback at all? And of course, did you achieve your targets? Also, check your problems as well. Where did some problems occur? So maybe you got an increased negative feedback from your potential link providers. You should think, why was that? Maybe your schedule was not kept. Maybe there was a negative atmosphere in the team. So maybe the next time you can get some other team members or do something to get a better team spirit, maybe whatever. Maybe it was also poor cooperation within the team. So everybody did maybe their own thing, but not working together. That's also something you should work on. And maybe a problem is also that the targets were missed. So of course, that's something you actually would like to avoid. But if it happens, think about it, evaluate it, so you can do better the next time. Think about why it missed, and we talked about the points before. Maybe the schedule was wrong, whatever. Just think about it. Maybe ask the team why they think the targets were missed, and so you can reach your goals the next time. So after all of that, you can go over to the next steps, and it's planning the next campaign. First of all, of course, use again your gained insights, keep them in mind for the next campaign. Then you can develop a new theme idea, a new topic, use a creativity workshop again for it, or use one of your other winner topics of the first workshop. And then, of course, elaborate the idea. Then again, the implementation. After that, again, controlling and the performance measurements. And of course, in the end, you have again learnings, which you can use again for the next campaign. So as you can see, it's all built up like a circle, and you can always develop yourself. You can always develop the work and the project on it. You get more insights, you get maybe more problems, but you can also work on more problems and you can solve more problems. So after a time, it should work smooth and pretty fluently at all. And it will be the perfect case that after some more campaigns, you have like the perfect procedure, the perfect structure, so that you have, just step after step, the perfect procedure for everybody, for the whole team, and for your whole campaign working. Yes, of course, that's it for today. As always, I summarize the learnings here for you, so get over to the learnings. Without controlling and success measurements, a campaign cannot be evaluated. Possible measurements or possibilities to measure success are, for example, the number of built backlinks, achieved keyword rankings, whether we can get out of Google Analytics, whatever we would like. The content you have should be recycled to make the best use of your resources, and you can remarketing your content to make it possible to bring users back to your page. And you can use evergreen content that can bring great benefits for a long term. You can draw learnings from each campaign to get over to the next campaign and for the next campaign. And your insights contribute to the continuous improvement of your campaigns. So yeah, that's the learnings for part 4. I say thank you for listening, but first of all, as always, we have some free downloads, some reading recommendations for you. It's our white papers online on our website, but Anka will tell you a little more about it.
Yes, I will do. Thanks, Linda. First of all, for the great insights into your daily work that you gave to us in all 4 parts. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Yes, as you can see, you can download these 2 white papers free on our website. So feel free to go there and have a look at them. And that was it for our webinar series. I hope you are all well prepared now to start your own content marketing campaign. And if there are still any remaining questions, feel free to get in touch with us via email at marketing@eology.de. That's it for our webinar series. Rest in peace press release, distributing content online. So we are glad you joined us again, and thanks for listening, and see you next time.
Goodbye. Thank you.
So